bucks, $100, or $120. So you got to weigh the pros and cons of each one. So that's all web leads, okay? Next, EverQuote. I like EverQuote. I don't like EverQuote's final expense, okay? So I just don't. And the reason why, you're kind of like a call center, and they call in and they're calling for different companies. You're almost like a secretary, if I'm being honest with you. So I hang up a lot of them, and you can hang up within 2 minutes and you get your credit back. Oh, all web leads, you don't get credits. If you take the call, you're going to take the call, just so you know, okay? EverQuote, you can hang up on the people within 2 minutes. If it's not going well, click and move on with your life, okay? Premium and preferred, I'm a fan of the premium life insurance leads at EverQuote. I think they're good, high-quality leads. I've taken 7 of them over the last 5 days. I've closed 5. I think they're high-quality leads. They're worth it. Also, these leads, you can book these leads from an appointment to an appointment. So if you don't close it on the spot, don't feel bad, but make sure you lock them down for another appointment. I don't know if it's going to be helpful to y'all. I hope it is, okay? But I do like EverQuote, and if you start with EverQuote and mention Family First Life, for every $500 you spend when you first put your deposit down, they give you $500 in credit. So if you've never closed anything on the phone, I think you should start with EverQuote. And the reason why is because you can put $500 in, they match the $500. Now you've got $1,000 in leads that you can get through your little learning curve, okay? There you go. Patrick just said they matched the first 2K. So we got $4,000 in leads. That's half off. So I guarantee you Patrick will be good at closing over the phone, if he tries, within that $4,000 range. It doesn't take long to figure out. You just have to do it repetitiously. Is that a word? Repetitiously? I don't know. You have to do the same thing every single time. And you have to work on your closing every single time. Okay? And you got to learn what's a real client and what's a client just kind of fishing around looking real quick. Okay? So obviously I liked EverQuote. I spent $7,200. Obviously I liked all web leads. I spent $7,700. New agents? No. I'm not a fan of stuff. The final expense, if you can get it for a good price, yes. If you can get it for a good price for live transfer leads. But if I'm talking to a new agent, okay, it's like the instant internet leads. Okay, instant internet leads. The reason why I like instant internet leads so much is because it's someone looking for life insurance. So you're the life insurance person. If someone's looking for life insurance and you're the life insurance person, they're going to buy life insurance from you. Whereas final expense can kind of be manipulated a little bit sometimes with the advertising, where people think they're getting something for free when in reality they're not. So I would prefer to put a new person in front of someone who's looking for life insurance to get them life insurance quotes to help them with a life insurance application. That's a personal opinion. Personal opinion. Y'all do what you want in your own businesses. Okay? I just think that's why the instant internet leads are such good leads for new agents. Right? Okay. Next was Data Lot. I love Data Lot leads. I think Data Lot leads are probably the best quality there is, just so you know. I think it's the best quality. I couldn't get them. I only spent $1,250 a Data Lot because I couldn't get the leads. Like, I don't know what bid was going on with Data Lot, but I just could not get it, and I couldn't take the chance. And so I just kept running with EverQuote and All Web because I knew I could get the leads, okay? All Web leads, like they're back down to a good cost. And me saying this probably drive up the cost, so stop it. Okay, but all web leads, I took 2 all web leads yesterday. I've been stay-home dad the last 3 days. All web leads, I took 2 calls yesterday when I could do it. I sold one for $145 a month. I spent $108 on leads. Like, you can't beat that. You just can't beat that. Like, you can take 10 final expense appointments. If you take 10 final expense appointments and they're life insurance final expense appointments, that's a different conversation. That's people looking for $25,000 of coverage, okay? Not looking for a burial that the government's going to provide, right? So if you can get 10 of those, I guarantee you're going to close 2. If it's only going to cost you $540 for 10 appointments, you're going to close 2. You're going to make $1,500 in profit. I know the numbers, okay? Because what I have noticed about this trade, you'll like this. Anyone that's working mortgage lease, what I've noticed is that my premium, my average premium has been the same, or it has gone up. It has not gone down since working these leads. It's been the same. In fact, what normally happens is I get the husband and the wife. I usually get both. And that keeps the cost. It keeps the average premium the same. Okay. All right. That's a great question, Arnold. I am licensed in 24 different states. Now, here's another tip when it comes to working live transfers, which I like a lot personally, is I live on the West Coast. I live in Vegas, as some of y'all know. I'm up at 4 a.m. I'm part of the 4 a.m. club. I get up at 4 a.m. I go to the gym. I love to go to the gym. I come home. I'm on the phone by 5 a.m. my time. That's 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'm taking live transfers before my kids are even out of bed. So I can get 2 live transfers in or 3 live transfers in before the kids get out of bed, which is awesome. So then I can go inside, help them get ready for school, take them to school, come back home, and I'm on the phone by 9 doing live transfers. And you can get 10 or 12 a day. You can, easily. It's just a matter of how much you want to work. You turn the machine on, and the machine goes. And I'm telling you, you can do this, okay? Next was the last one was mortgage leads. I was doing mortgage leads, selling over the phone. No Zooms, just straight over the phone. And if some of y'all have ever gone on ffldials.com, I have closed mortgage leads on the phone while making phone calls. Okay, and Sam can tell you that I've done that. I've done it a couple times. Okay, so if you catch me doing it, I'm gonna do it right there on the spot. When Brandon watches me, I get all scared because Brandon is the man when it comes to closing people over the phone. So I get all nervous when Brandon's on the phone. But I try the best I can. Okay. So are you able to uncover and close annuity opportunities on the phone? Yeah, you can find it. Look, people will give you everything. As long as you can solidify some kind of credibility, there's no difference, right? There's no difference. And you have to get out of your head thinking that you need to be in front of somebody to get something done, because that's not true anymore. That's been true for a long time. I feel like it's just been a mental shift a lot of us veteran agents have had to make to where we have to go from the in-person to over the phone or over Zoom or whatever it might be, okay? So, but I'm not the best person to ask about that because I only did like 170,000 annuities last year. You know what I mean? So I didn't do like a whole bunch of annuity business. It was not honestly wasn't even in my, I didn't even try. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I didn't even try it. Okay, didn't care, didn't want to. I've done it before, didn't really care for it. If I go for annuities, if it's there, I'll go for it. I don't really care. Okay, maybe it's something I can work on personally, right? So, okay, so that is live transfers. That's a breakdown, the pros and the cons of each of them. Was that helpful to everyone so far? Okay, so best tips for establishing trust over the phone. Who do you recommend telesales for new agents? I would probably go EverQuote or All Web, as long as you can get All Web leads for a low price. Don't pay a bunch of money for All Web leads. I think they're the worst quality, personally, okay, because I can't hang up on them. So even if I know they're terrible leads, hey, where you going, man?
I got it.
Hang on,
I got the eraser.
No, you stay in this office with me. I'm almost done, and then we'll go get the eraser. So I really do like EverQuote for new agents because you can hang up on the person within 2 minutes. Okay, so if you can get a good quality life insurance lead that you pay $80 for, $100 for, that someone's actually looking for life insurance that's somewhat healthy, you can ask them health questions right off the bat to find out, and you can hang up on them. Okay, all right. So here's how you establish trust over the phone. So I'm going to do my opening for you guys, and it's just not hard. There's no rocket science kind of a deal to this. There's none of that kind of stuff. Okay, so, and I can do it with my little 3-year-old watching me, so it's not a big deal. I know. Keep coloring. Okay, so here's how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to use Sam as an example. So let's say Sam called in. It's a live transfer, and he's looking for $250,000 of term insurance for, he doesn't even know what it is because none of them know what even life insurance is, just so we all know. Okay, listen, something that you need to know, these clients don't know anything. They don't know nothing. Okay, they're relying on you to get them the information. They don't even know what they're looking for. They don't know what term insurance is. They don't know what permanent insurance is. They don't know what final expense insurance is. They don't know what whole life insurance is. They don't know what anything is. They don't know what they have. They don't know what their parents had. They don't know what it costs. They know nothing. So if you can go off of that, you know more than them. So you're the expert in this situation. So the call comes in. It rings to me. I answer the phone, always. I go, hi, this is Matt. How can I help you? And then the lady or the man on the other end goes, hey, this is Sam with All Web Leads. I have a live transfer for you. Please let me know when you're ready. And I say, I'm ready. Now, at that point, what I have in front of me is I have a piece of paper and a pen, and I have my computer on or my iPad open. That's what I have. Okay? Pretty simple. So then the call comes through. This is Sam. He's looking for life insurance in whatever state he's in, something I'm licensed in. And then an email comes through as well with their information. However, I'm logged onto the website. That way I know what leads popping up. Now, here's something I can tell you about life transfers. Sometimes you can have multiple platforms running at the same time. So you can have All Web Leads running, you can have EverQuote running, and you can have DataLock running. You need to make sure you pause the other ones if you get a call, because if you don't pause it, you're going to get charged for it. So just remember that. So, or if you're brand new to that, just turn one on for right now until you get the hang of things. And then you can add all three at one time. Dude, you can get like 15 phone calls a day. Like there's no reason you can't write 3-4 grand a day. Okay? So here's how this goes. Hey, Sam, this is Matt. I'm just a life insurance agent in California. And it looks like you were looking for a little bit of life insurance today, right? And they say, yes. That's what they say. Okay, that's exactly right. Yes, great. Real quick, I just need to verify some. Let me turn this off, you guys. I don't know why it's buzzing right now. This is why I turned on mute, Shannon. Okay, let me mute it. Okay, so they say, yes, I'm looking for life insurance. And I say, great. I'm just a licensed underwriter in the state of California. And so my simple job is to ask you some basic health questions and to find out what you can actually qualify for. And I'll get you the quotes to those companies, okay? And they say, okay, real quick. Sorry, guys, the text messages are going off and it's throwing me off of my game plan, okay? So real quick, have you ever purchased life insurance before, or was this your first time? So the idea of these words I'm saying is I'm letting them know that I'm a field underwriter in California. It's my job to ask them basic health questions. And then it's also my job, I'm trying to turn all these off. And it's also my job to find the carrier they can actually qualify for. Then I also ask them, is this your first time buying life insurance, or have you done this before? Because I want to know if they've ever purchased life insurance before. Because if they have, they understand the process. If they haven't, they don't understand the process. Okay? And I also want them to know that we're going to do everything today. So have you ever purchased before? Is this your first time buying it? And they tell me, this is my first time. Oh, okay. Well, Sam, listen. It's actually very simple, and people make it way more complicated than what it needs to be. So my simple job is I ask you some basic health questions. I work for 35 different companies. I get to shop for you. And the only thing we can do today, Sam, is we can only apply for coverage. Because, Sam, have you ever bought like health insurance before? You know you have to qualify for it. Life insurance is the same way. So you have to fill out a request for coverage. You have to submit it to a carrier. They will take about a week to 2 weeks to look at you to make sure you can qualify. Some will do it immediately, but some won't. After that, then you can get fully qualified. Once you get fully qualified, Sam, you get a policy in the mail. And what'll happen is, well, you and I will get back on the phone, and you have 30 days to look at the policy to make sure you're happy with it. And at that time, you can either increase it, you can decrease it, or legally, Sam, you can cancel the policy and the insurance company has to reimburse you your money. Does this make sense? So, Sam, you have 30 days to think about this policy and to be comfortable with it. Is that enough time for you to think about anything? And they say, yes, that's enough time. And you say, great. Now, there's going to be 3 things I'm going to have to ask you for today because I am an underwriter. So the first one I'm going to have to ask you for is your social. The reason I have to ask you for your social stamps because your social is attached to your MIB record, which shows a prescription to see if you can qualify for anything. The second one is your ID, because your ID is attached to any driving records. That way we know if you're a crazy driver or not. And the last one is your bank account information. And your banking information is important because insurance companies know that you're purchasing the life insurance policy on yourself and not on somebody else. Does this make sense? Now, before you give me that information, though, Sam, I'm going to send you a copy of my driver's license as well as my insurance license for the state of California. That way you can verify me with the state. Is that fair enough? And they say, yes, that's fair enough. And that's it. That's my opening. Is that helpful? Somewhat? Okay. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay, if old school and no cell phone, what do you do? What do you mean? Who doesn't have a cell phone? Mac? Bro, you're thinking way too old school, bro. Even the 85-year-olds have cell phones. So, okay. I don't have a PDF of the script. Sorry. So, are you recommending buying only live transfers to get a volume? Nope. I'm not recommending only buying live transfers. I do not own one type of lead. I have multiple types of leads. Okay? Data lot does not let you hang up. The only one that lets you hang up is EverQuote. Don't be a fool and rely on one type of lead. Ever. You control your business. Don't let your business control you. So the idea is you have live transfers. You have internet leads. You have mortgage leads. You do everything that you can. Okay, you get as many leads as possible. The more leads you have, the more money you make. The less leads you have, the less money you make. It really is that simple. The reason people struggle so much with appointment, like if you're struggling closing, if you struggle in closing, the reason you're struggling closing is because you don't have enough appointments. That's why you struggle closing, just so you know. You're not struggling closing because you're terrible in the home. You're struggling closing because you don't have enough appointments. When you have enough appointments, you don't care if the person buys or not. When you don't care if the person buys or not, you actually help the family, which means you close more business. Simple. Okay? When you have commission breath, because you don't have enough appointments, that means that you're pushing too hard. When you're pushing the client, they can feel it. When you're pushing the client too hard, they know it, and then they cancel. See? I know it makes no sense, but that's just kind of the way it works. You cannot have commission breath when you're doing this business. You have to actually help the family at all times. Okay, so are you dialing in between live transfers to one call close? I have it actually mixed up. So what I'll do is I'll do on Mondays and Thursdays, I'll do dials with you, Sam, obviously, as you know. So I'll book my mortgage appointments, and if I can do it right then and there, I will. If not, I'll schedule an appointment for the next day for mortgage appointments. You all have heard me do that. And what I do is I do live transfers in between those appointments. That's how I do it. Okay, so I do live transfers pretty much every day because you can every day. I like the earlier ones and I like the later ones because they're just more likely they're going to buy. And the reason why is because if you're calling somebody dirt early in the morning to buy life insurance, you're going to buy life insurance. And if you're calling somebody super late to buy life insurance, you're going to buy life insurance. Okay. I do turn on all lead vendors, but what I have noticed is that EverQuote will get you about 1 to 2 an hour. It's secure.allwebs. That's why I keep calling it that. But all web leads will get you as many as you want. Like you turn it on and you can just let it run. Like you can get like 140 a day technically if you wanted to. That's how crazy they are about it. Like it's nuts. Okay. So I turn them on, turn them off, turn them on, turn them off, turn them on, turn them off. If I want to take a break, I take a break, I turn them off, I turn it back on when I'm ready again, all that kind of stuff. I do not make appointments to meet people in their homes. Nope, sure don't. Okay, now if it's a mortgage lead and they're super old, I will, because if they don't have like a computer, I'll do that. Like some of these old folks, they don't have a computer. But that being said, like Aetna lets you sign with a security password nowadays. And so people don't want you coming over their houses anyway. Like if you ask someone, if I was doing a mortgage lead and I was going, hey Maria, there's 3 different ways we can do this. Because with COVID nowadays and all that kind of stuff, they're allowing us to do it a couple different ways. So the first one is I can either do this in person with you and I can come out and go over the information, take about 15, 20 minutes. I can do it over the phone with you same concept. It's going to take me about 15, 20 minutes, or I can do it over Zoom. Which one is most comfortable for you? Either way, it's going to take me about 15, 20 minutes. Which one would you prefer? They always say over the phone. Like, I don't have anyone that ever says Zoom. And if the person does say they want to meet me in person, it's literally a sell. Okay? Now, if they want to do it over the phone, if I'm not doing live dials, I'll go, okay, well, I don't have time now, but help me understand your schedule. Do you work Monday through Friday? You officially retired. And then they'll tell me, and then I'll go, hey, great. Now it's going to take me about, like I said, 15, 20 minutes to go over the information with you. So what time tomorrow is best for you? Do you like mornings or afternoons better? And they say afternoon. And I go, great. Do you prefer later in the afternoon or earlier, like 2 or like 4? Which one would you like, the 2 or the 4? And they'll tell me 2. And I'll go, great. Now, what's your email address so I can confirm all this with you? And I do the Calendly thing that Ginger talks about. So I set everybody up in Calendly with their email address. It emails them all the information. And I copied and pasted Ginger's stuff. I found it on Facebook. She posted it somewhere, or somebody posted it for her. I don't know what happened, but I copied it. Okay? Sorry, Ginger. I totally copied and pasted it, stuck it in that thing that sends out to people in an email, but I just replaced my name. That's all I did. Okay? So, like, I'm all about cheating. Not going to lie to you. I'm all about cheating. Like, I was the person in school that looked off your paperwork if you were going to get good grades. Okay? I was that guy, just so you all know. It works. I'm copying it. Thank you very much. So that's what I did. So all that stuff is through Ginger. So if you have questions about mortgage protection, watch Ginger's video. If you have questions about how to close mortgage protection over the phone, watch Brandon Kitchens. I'm going to give them all the credit. They do a wonderful job. But what I will say is this. You have to find your personality. Brandon Kitchens has a very distinct personality. Okay, I have a very distinct personality. I feel like Ginger has a very distinct personality. Lotta has a very distinct personality. So you got to kind of find what works for you and make it your own. But what I will say is you'll notice there'll be a consistent rhythm to everybody's presentation. Like, they all have an opening, they all have a middle, and they all have an end. Every one of them. So you just kind of have to figure out what yours is. Okay? All right. Last tip I'm going to give you, because it's already 2:40, and my son's doing excellent as far as I'm concerned. Okay? So here's the last tip I'm going to give you. This is when it comes to closing. You have to be a little more pushy over the phone to get things done. Okay? And you need to know how to look up account information, routing information. You need to be able to walk the person through how to sign an application over the phone. You need to be 100% familiar with Mutual of Omaha, with Americo, with Aetna. You need to tell them, scroll down halfway through the page, click on review additional forms, click on review application. You can't check the little yellow box until you do that. You need to be able to type in the city. You need to make sure, if you scroll down a little further, you can select sign here, but not with your finger. You have to know this. You have to know that Americo has the mother's maiden name that they have to type in second page down from when they sign. Like, there's all these things that you need to know. You got to get good at it. But the only way to get good at it is to do it. It's not an excuse not to work. Okay? So I'm going to give you a tip when it comes to closing people over the phone. Okay? Make them write things down. If you make them write things down, your closing percentage will go up. If you fly through everything and they don't write anything down, you're not going to close them because they don't know what they did. Okay? So if I'm talking to Elaine, I'm going, Elaine, I'm going to give you 3 options. All I want you to do, Elaine, is pick the one that's most affordable to you today. Elaine, we can always change it. Meaning, a year from now, I see all my clients once a year. I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm not going anywhere. You're kind of stuck with me. But what I will do is review your policy with you. So in a year from now, if you want to increase, we can always increase if you can afford it. So today, something's better than nothing. So just pick what's most affordable, knowing you can change it later. Okay? And they say, okay. So then you go, here's 3 options. The first one. This is the most expensive one, and we're going to go down from here, all right? The most amount of coverage you can qualify for with Americo is $30,000. And because of your age, a 75-year-old female, non-smoker, it is $227 a month. The next one, Elaine, is option number 2, and that's going to be $20,000 worth of coverage, and that is $177.37. And the last one, Elaine, is $10,000 of coverage. And honestly, Elaine, I feel like you need at least $10,000 to cover burial expenses nowadays. That one is $100.02. So Elaine, knowing that you can increase later on, which one today is most affordable for you? And then they tell me, but I make them write each option down and the benefits of each option. And then I say, pick one that's best for you today. And they go, well, probably the $100 one. And I go, okay, look, let's start with that. And then, like I said, if you want to increase later, you and I will talk about it. You can increase later, okay? And they say, okay. If somebody's hemming and hawing, like they like the most expensive one, but they're not quite sure, bring them down. Bring them down automatically. Because if you sell them the most expensive one and they don't know if they can afford it, guess what they're going to do with it? They're going to cancel it. So talk them off the ledge. You can always go back and get more premium. Okay? All right. Last thing. Convention's coming up. You have got to go to convention. You're not serious about this business if you're not at convention. Do I need to say anything else? Is that good enough? Here's what I will tell you. Everybody that's making money is going to be at convention. Everyone that's not making money is not going to be at convention. That's what I know. Everyone that's going to be in business next year is going to be at convention. Everyone that's going to quit within 6 months is not going to be at convention. Is that helpful? This is true. You can believe it or not. This is true. You must be at convention. If you're serious about convention, you need to be there. It's free to go. Plane tickets are cheap. It's an investment. You get to write it off. That's right. I said it. Okay? Don't quote me on it, even though it's being recorded. But you can write it off. I know you can. Okay? You need to go. All the Hall of Fame producers are going to be there. If you want to do $400,000 a year in business, you have to go to convention. This is not like one of your normal rah-rah nonsense. This is legitimate training panels that will teach you how to be successful in this industry, teach you how to write $400,000 a year, and teach you how to do $1 million a month with business. This is excellent stuff. You need to go. No excuses. Don't care. No one feels sad for you if you don't show up. No one's going to even think about it if you don't go. I'm not going to lie to you. The only person that's going to be impacted is you. Okay? So you need to get there. There's going to be a meet and greet on Thursday. We're going to get that information out to everybody. Okay? So from 6 to 10, the first 400 get to eat. The next 600 don't. Is that clear enough, Trey? The first 400 that are there get to eat for free, I think. Not sure. The next 600, you don't get to eat. I think the reason why there's only food for 400 of you. So that's why. I'm just guessing. It's just a guess. Okay? All right. I don't have anything else. I want to thank Trey for helping me, dude. You and Dave, thank you guys very much. Laura, appreciate everything you did. Brandon Kitchens, you the man, bro. So, and then Stephen E, I'll be hitting you up, dude, because I want to have a conversation with you. So, does anyone have any other questions or any of those kind of things before I exit out of this thing? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, I'm out. Y'all have a wonderful day. Congratulations, coast to coast. Let's get this team to $10 million a month, okay? We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.
Wait.
Well, hello, my wife.
Okay.